furs, non-furs, and those curious about the furs. My name's Colt, I'm the furry teacher. So if you are in that latter category, just curious about the furry fandom, this may not be the best introduction video for you. I have made a video series called Guide to the Fandom for Parents. Should be up here somewhere. One of these sides somewhere, there will be a little white card. Click that. Although it says for the parents, it's really for anybody, just targeted at parents because that's what people wanted. But go watch that. That should help get you introduced. Then go beyond that. You can go to I believe I have another playlist for beginners, which you can go through, watch those videos. Then come to the more advanced ones like this one. Or watch this one. It's not up to me. But that's just what I suggest. Anyway, so, as I previously mentioned, this is a more in-depth view, so keep that in mind. If you want to have a more basic overview, there should be a different video also available about now. Click on that. However, if you are curious about very in-depth, congratulations, this is the video for you, my friend. So, today we will be talking about the lovely, as the title may have suggested, quite obviously, the Dutch Angel Dragons. These lovely things. Well, these are lovely. That is fucking terrifying. I'm sorry, but it is. So, that thing's fucking terrifying. That thing's fucking adorable. Those are Dutch Angel Dragons. Today we will sadly be talking about, to my complete utter dismay, the feral versions, aka the ones that actually have biological shit to talk about. These ones, because they're terrifying. I'd much rather talk about the cute, adorable ones, but these ones we'll be talking about today. So, anyway, after that long ass intro, Editor Colt, take us away. So, in order to start us off, we're going to talk about their internal organs, I guess. They're very strange. Allow me to demonstrate. So, that is the rough explanation of what their internal anatomy is regarding their digestive tract, and that is the entirety of their internal anatomy. And there's their I believe here should be their circulatory system. Yes, it's confusing. So, let's try to explain and elaborate and explain and teach you, because I'm the furry teacher and that's what I do, right? Okay, so let's begin. Alright, so they don't actually eat in the same way people eat, or that any creatures from Earth would eat. I will explain what exactly it means, because they aren't actually from Earth or their equivalent of Earth. I'll explain later, but just start off with how exactly they consume food, how they maintain life functions. So first off, when they eat something, they of course chew it, eat it, it goes through their throat into their stomach. Their stomach has multiple compartments. However, it does not, unlike most stomachs of most normal animals that just take all the good parts out, take the rest and chuck it out, it stops there. They literally turn it into pure energy and then disperse it throughout the body. They don't really, they have more of a life energy than an actual, the way that regular animals or people would work. They just have that. So basically, food goes into the stomach, goes into the mouth, through the throat, into the stomach, gets broken down into energy, and then gets shipped around the body to be used for purposes of, maintaining function. So, another thing is that they do bleed. They do not have blood, however. I don't think they actually have a heart. I think that blue glowing thing in the middle, I should have it circled, is their, heart, I think. I believe that is what circulates energy throughout the body. Or it may be like their veins. I'm not sure how exactly that works. I'm still learning. But that is roughly how it works. So, they do bleed. And now they used to be on a higher plane, but they were moved down a plane because of basically a falling out. And their blood used to be silver because, of the extreme energy concentration. But it is now turned red. Because why not? There are also times when their blood will turn black. I'll explain that in greater detail towards the end. So that is how their blood works, that is how their circulatory system works. That is their digestive tract covered. So, let's move on, shall we? So, in the Dutch Angel Dragon universe, the Dadiverse, as I'm going to call it, because why not? There are 4 levels of existence, basically. So you have the bottom, which is, what the hell is it called? There's a word for it. Abyss. That is kind of hell, basically. That is the lowest level of existence. Very chaotic. Well, it's hell. To put it simply. So yeah. Above that, you then have Terra, which is basically Earth. That's about it. Then above that, you have Aether, Aether. Aether, maybe? I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it, but I'm pronouncing it almost correct. But that is the next level of existence above. And above Aether, you then have Paradise. Now, why am I covering all this? Well, because this is very important to understanding Dungeons & Dragons. So, in Aether is where a lot of supernatural beings reside, including the Dungeons & Dragons. Now, they used to reside in Paradise and could go down throughout, but they used to live in Paradise. They were basically the protectors of the High Ones, I guess is what you call them. I'm not entirely sure what their exact terminology is. It's been a while since I studied this, but basically they were the protectors of the gods, I'm going to guess. Well, not necessarily the gods, but the residents of Paradise. They were the protectors. However, due to a conflict, they were basically cast out down to Aether. Now, one of the multiple side effects of this is that they used to have silver blood when they were in Paradise. It was then turned red when they were moved down. Also, they were marked by their ring around their muzzle. Now, if you notice, the creator, Eno, actually still has the original ring, but no other dragon has a complete ring around their muzzle. Now, this is actually a rule, so if you want to make one, keep that in mind. But you're not allowed to have a ring around the muzzle. Now, the ring symbolizes their connection to the ones which they protected. Well, since they were cast out, they were no longer protecting them, ring was removed. Now they protect humans. It's not uncommon for a Dungeon Dragon to have a human which they have taken a liking to and they protect. However, it should be noted, if they have chosen a human and that human dies, they'll get very depressed. It can harm them. It can cause problems. It can also result in them slipping into the Abyss, which I will get to the Abyss. It is the last part of this video. But that is a possibility. I'll explain the Abyss more later. So that is basically this part covered. That is the different planes of existence. That is kind of getting the story of the Dungeons & Dragons, but let's move on. Dungeons & Dragons are known for having a relatively mild temperament, although they can be more aggressive at times. Usually they are quite kind, gentle, loving, and social creatures. Also very curious. If you ever watched a Dungeons & Dragon, you know that they are very curious creatures. It's kind of adorable. So they are known to take after the dragon, part of their name, in hoarding objects. It can be just about anything. It could be stuffed animals, it could be socks, it could be kitchen appliances, it could be gold. It doesn't really matter. They will find something and they will hoard it. Also, if they are in charge of protecting a human and that human has a specific liking towards something, they are known to hoard that particular something. I'm not sure why, but they do. It's actually kind of cute, in my opinion. A lot of things about these guys are actually cute. Just some of their drawings can be chill-inducing. Also, if they are around humans a lot, they have been known to mimic them by walking on two legs, or attempting to. Some with success, some with not. It depends on the creature. But speaking of mimicry, that's also how they make most of their noises. Dungeons & Dragons usually communicate with each other using body language, so they don't really have any natural sounds. However, they will usually mimic sounds from the world around them. These sounds can include anything from a phone ringing, to a car horn, to human speech, to chirps, and other such noises. They do have a very large vocabulary of sounds which they usually learn over their lifespan, which they will use for expressing themselves. Very fascinating. Also, something else that should be noted is that if they do happen to feel threatened, they will usually puff up their feathers and fur and growl and hiss in order to get the creature to leave them alone. However, there are also times when they have been known to play dead, which I feel like would be kind of adorable to watch. I don't know why, but I do. So that is all of their defense mechanisms pretty much. Although I'm pretty sure if they really wanted to, they could seriously drag someone's day up. I mean, it's basically a horse dragon. I'm pretty sure it could do some damage. Anyway, so as I have previously mentioned, they are extremely social. However, that is also part of their downfall because they need interaction. They can get lonely. In extreme cases, they will slip into the Abyss, which I've mentioned a couple times, hinted at. Now to finally talk about the Abyss. The last level of hell, basically, is what it is. It's hell. But in their universe. So, an abyssal Dungeons & Dragon has basically fallen from good graces, even further than the original ones, and they are basically living in hell. They are very noticeable. They will usually have missing patches of fur, much darker fur and feathers. They will usually look scrawny, sickly, yeah, they're usually very alone, or they usually stay to themselves. They lose their social nature to some extent. They also sometimes have been observed to have sharp teeth in cases, I think I've heard. Supposedly, I could be wrong, but I believe they have seen cases where Abyssal Dutch angel dragons have had much sharper teeth, which is very strange and something I'm very curious about. A lot of things I'm curious about regarding these creatures because they are fascinating. Although good-natured, Abyssal Dutch angel dragons are known for being hostile. If a Dutch angel dragon is hostile, they are most likely from the abyss. They are very dangerous, avoid at all costs, generally speaking. And what's interesting is that because they have the mental capacity of a 3-year-old human child, roughly, and they're very in tune with nature and emotions, they're much more susceptible to slipping into the abyss, which, yeah, is actually quite sad, because, I mean, they're so cute, but so terrifying at the same time. Especially when they're from the abyss, because that's terrifying. So, yeah. That is a basic overview of Dutch angel dragons. So, finally, let's talk about death and reproduction, because, strangely enough, we have to talk about death with these things, because they don't really die, necessarily. So when they pass away, they are reborn, per se, wherein they basically turn into, well, they're reborn as an egg, basically. They create a Dutch angel dragon egg, which looks like a regular rock, except it has energy crystals coming out of it. So that's what happens when they die. Then they hatch, they retain their memories, they can also change their appearance at this time, and have a certain effect on their body parts. It's very strange. But that is how they die. How do they reproduce? Well, if a pair of them pass away at the same time, they will turn into basically pure energy. They will then turn into an egg. However, if two of them pass away at the same time, they can conjoin. Then from this, a third will be born. And this life form will then turn into an egg. Will then become an egg, just like the parents, and they'll hatch, and yada yada yada. And generally, this newborn is a blank slate. However, it will usually have traits of both parents in it. There is one thing that can happen, though. If, when conjoined, the parents have a hard time separating, they will then have a higher chance of creating different strange features. These strange features can include extra tails, extra wings, horns, all kinds of strange things, and that is a possible outcome of a not entirely successful reproduction. So yeah, but they will then turn into eggs, hatch, and continue on their lives. So now that baby will have traits of both parents. However, if that baby were to die and be reborn, it will then be able to change its appearance to whatever it so pleases. So, if you happen to have enjoyed my video, happen to enjoy this sort of content, and would like to see more of it, feel free to click that subscribe button that should be popping up over my face right about now, hopefully. Feel free to click that. Feel free to go click the video series the playlist, which has more videos about in this series, or click this video, which YouTube thinks you would enjoy watching. That is from my channel. Anyway, hope you have enjoyed. Have a lovely day. Stay safe. Stay fluffy. I'll see you next time.